Dean, I was thinking it was all over today. I've been thinking it's been all over all season and trying to rile you into saying champions, but one or two more games left after today.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people have been trying to make us say it, but we never have, because we know that football is what it is, and it can be cruel sometimes. And I mean, we've been top for, oh God, you probably know the stats more than me. Since September, we've been pipped at the post on the last day. That happens. Goal difference is a hard one to take, but like I say, it is what it is. It's time to get our chins off our chest, pick up and go again on Wednesday.
Excellent. Andy, do you want to add to that?
No, just to reiterate what Dean says there. It's a tough one to take, but ultimately over 40 games the table doesn't lie. Just want to say congratulations to Carlisle, and we'll be back. We'll be back for the playoffs, and we'll be back with a bang, and we'll give it a roll Wednesday and see what we can do.
Tom?
I mean, there's not loads to say really. I think we've had a brilliant season. It's just come down to goal difference in the end, which it's sickening, to be honest. It's a horrible feeling, but I think considering we were 2-0 down today, lads probably knew we were struggling, yet had the fight to come back and draw 2-2. Tells me that we've got more than enough to still go up.
Yes. I thought, Scott, after the first half performance, when we had three really good chances, you may want to talk about one of them later, I thought we were going to go on and win the game.
It was one of them games, wasn't it, where the longer it took for the sort of the deadlock to be broken, the more nerves from both sides you could see. Just before talking about what happened today, just want to say thanks to the fans as well, because we had a big following, sold out 3 coaches down there. Just want to add what the lads have said about exciting times for Wednesday. It's going to be hopefully above the crowd.
Hopefully, yeah. Dean, what about today's match? Three good chances in the first half. One, I don't understand why he didn't shoot, Dean.
Yeah, it's decisions, isn't it? Look, I mean, on another day, Dean Holmes goes through like he did last week and rolls it past the keeper and you 1-0 up. He thought at the time the best decision was to square it. I'm never going to argue with him, and I'll back him all the way. We've had chances in the first half where it just didn't quite fall for what we said at half time. If we can just tidy that final third up, there's goals in it for us. But Scott's right what he said, the longer it goes on, you think, what's going to happen next? And look, they've scored a penalty. They've went 2 up when we've kind of chased, and then, like Tom says, you think, oh, we're in a bit of trouble here. But they have just showed in 20 minutes the fight they've got, the balls they've got, the determination they've got, the grit they've got, everything. They care about the badge on the chest more than you'll ever imagine. And they've just shown that in 20 minutes to come back to 2-2. We're pushed and pushed and pushed, but we just couldn't go over the line. Obviously, we've chucked Ezzy up, we've chucked Harvey up, we've chucked Matt. We couldn't have done any more. I don't think you're allowed any more forwards up front. So, but it just wasn't meant to be. Like Andy says, the league doesn't lie. We've been top all season. They've given this fan base something to cheer again. But I can't stress enough, we need them again Wednesday, and we urge every single one of them and their dogs to come and cheer us on and get us over the line. Like they did today was different class, but we need another reason at home. We need another 300, 400, 500 people here to really, really pull us over the line. And like I say, every week we go and try and win the next football match, and that's all we need to do. We need to go on Wednesday full of confidence, because it's disappointing. I'm not going to say my famous line that I want to, because Andy will laugh at us, but we can't get too low with today. And we move into Wednesday and hopefully better times ahead.
Yes. Do you think it's a bit of a lottery now, Andy, the playoffs? Any dodgy decision?
No, I think it just comes down to a game of football ultimately, doesn't it? We're going to have a home support. We're decent on our own patch, and yeah, we'll give it a good go Wednesday. Obviously, they've got to come here. They've put up a good fight today, and they were 2-0 up, and they've got into the playoffs when maybe they thought they were probably the team that may miss out if things went right for us. So they'll come full of confidence, we'll go full of confidence again, and with our backing, and we'll see what comes of 10 o'clock on Wednesday night, and hopefully it's a positive result.
Yes, it could be a best gate of the season Wednesday, and then doubling it on Saturday if we get through to a final. I know you don't want to talk about a final yet, but I do sometimes.
Well, I think if anything's come out of today, I think the Treasure's going to be happy. So, like I say, all we do is we urge all the fans to come back, and like Scott said, they've been absolutely different class than they were again today. The lads love it. The lads love playing here. We've played really well at home all season. And look, all I can tell you is we'll be ready for Wednesday. We will be. We didn't go into today's game thinking we've won the league, we're not going to be in the playoffs. Where we've been prepared for every single option, and we have been for weeks and weeks and weeks. And that's no lies. We haven't been arrogant about it. We haven't mentioned the title. We haven't mentioned being champions. We haven't mentioned winning the league. All for a reason, because in football, anything can happen. And like you've said, Brian, it could be a red card, it could be a penalty, it could be anything. Nobody knows. As long as we are ready, as a squad of 25 players and as a staff of 4 people and as many fans as we can possibly cram in the gate to go and win a game of football on Wednesday, that's all we ask.
Yes. I said to Lee after the game that for the playoff, I said, I hope it's won by the team that deserves it, and there are no dodgy decisions, no dodgy penalties, clear goals, clear-cut results, 2-1 to Stan.
Let's hope so. I mean, decisions in games, they've happened to us, they've happened to them. It's part and parcel of football. You can't control what happens when the game goes on, and as we say, people make decisions honestly. So if we can get a 2-1 win and get 2 clean goals, great. We score 2 screamers, great. We get 2 dodgy decisions, great. It doesn't matter. We're just going to be there Wednesday. We'll be fighting the hardest, as we say, and we'll see what comes of it. Hopefully it's a positive outcome and see where it takes us again after that.
Have we got any injuries?
Do you think we'd tell you?
Not tonight, no. Not for the radio, no.
Because you'll be listening, won't you, Lee?
No, I honestly actually don't think we do. I mean, it's today's a tough one to take. Everyone's back here.
Do you all feel down tonight?
Yeah, I think you've got to. I think
Just feel sick.
Yeah, I think it's part of football.
What sickens you the most? Scott, come on, say what sickens you the most?
Probably going back to decisions.
In the match?
Yeah, I mean, you don't pin things on referees, but to concede a penalty the way that it was.
Were you doubtful of that penalty?
From my angle, yeah, it looked, I mean, I haven't seen it back on the video, but from my angle it looked a bit, but again, like we said, swings and roundabouts, because Easington will have sat a few weeks ago and I'd probably had the same conversation about the referee that was in the middle of the home game here. So yeah, that sickens me a little bit, and just the fact that it's goal difference.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest.
I think that's the biggest thing, isn't it? Look, fair play to Carlisle. I rang the manager this morning and I wished them all the best. And I said, look, may the best team win it. We finished on the same points, and arguably, and again, it's not out of spite or anything like that. They've won the league because they've beat someone 16-1 or whatever it was, and that's what's ultimately come down to win them the league. But look, you don't win the league if you don't deserve it, and like Andy says, the league doesn't lie. Over 40 games, Carlisle City deserve to win the league. That is absolutely fine. Fair enough. We wish them all the very best. We move on. I mean, what sickens you the most is you've been top since
September.
Since time begun. It feels like.
Has that created a pressure in itself, because every team has wanted to come and beat you,
Yeah,
I think?
it does, doesn't it? Because you're everyone's cup final, and we watched Willington celebrate beating us 2-1 at home like they just won the FA Cup. We watched Brighton celebrate twice against us like they won the FA Cup. But that's not a dig at anyone else.
No.
That's we would do that. We've done that at Barnsley. So you take that out of it, and ultimately you want to go and beat them sides at the top. We done it at Easington. We won and we celebrated in the dressing room, because beating the top sides is a big thing in football. So when you are top for so long, teams want to beat you, and that's why the lads deserve so much praise, because they've took it on the shoulders and they haven't hid away from it. They've went against it every week, whether it's been, no disrespect, Durham City, Eshwin and them teams at the bottom, or whether it's Easington, or whether it's Brighton, or whether it's Carlisle City. They've played exactly the same way. They've approached the game exactly the same way, and they've won some really, really good games of football. But yeah, it's hard to take on the last day. Of course it is, but someone's got to win and someone's got to lose. Let's just hope we're winning on Wednesday.
Yes, let's just finish on a happy note, Andy. I remember the interview with you. You summed up after the Durham game, you hope they win a match.
Yeah, they've won today, haven't they?
Yes.
These guys are going to laugh, but obviously that keeps Bedlington Terriers safe, which that's where I was a couple of years, so I'm quite pleased to see that. And while we've been doing the interview, Fergie's actually tried to give us a ring, probably to be really happy when we're not so happy. But it is what it is. Durham really pleased for them. Obviously they're probably going to now drop out of the Northern League, and let's hope they can rebuild and come back. And as we say, we had that chat, and they managed to do it on the final day. They just couldn't hold on for 20 seconds last week against Carlisle, which would have been a little bit better. But it is what it is. No, it's, as we say, we go Wednesday. We'll have smiles on our faces. We've got 20 lads downstairs ready to have a good night, and we've got to be proud of what we've done. Me, Dean, obviously being the leader of the pack, Scott, Tom, we've given everything we've got. We've just come up short in the league by 8 or 9 goals, whatever it is. We'll see everybody Wednesday, and we'll see how we go.
Brilliant, lads. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.